Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter we completed in the last class. So today I would like to give the summary of that second chapter, Sankhya Yogam. This chapter is considered as the Upakrama Sangraha Adhyayah. That means the entry into the Bhagavad Gita. And a gist of it, the entire Bhagavad Gita given in this chapter in 72 shlokas. In the same way, the Upasamhara Sangraha Adhyaya is the 18th chapter, which is consisting of 78 shlokas. So, Upakrama Sangraha, and that is Upasamhara Sangraha. Both are the big chapters. And basically, this chapter can be divided into 4 headings. One is Arjuna Sharanagati, Arjuna's Sharanagati. That is from shloka number 1 to the 10. And second is Gnana Yogaha from 11th shloka to 38th shloka. And then Karma Yoga from 39th to the 53rd shloka. And the last topic is the Sthita Prajna Lakshanani, Sthita Prajna topic, which is from 54 to the 72nd shloka. So in this way, 4 headings we can divide this Adhyaya. This first part now, Arjuna Vishada Yogam, is the first chapter. Now Arjuna's the Vishada is continuing in the second chapter also in the beginning few shlokas. That's why the Sanjaya started telling to the Dhritarashtra, Krupayavishta Ashrupurna Kulekshanam. And that Arjuna, who is filled with the grief and the tears in his eyes, that Arjuna spoke to the Lord Shri Krishna in this way. So, Arjuna's argument is still continuing. Now, what is the problem of the Arjuna? Arjuna's problem is Raga, Shoka and Moha. This is not only the Arjuna's problem, but it is a common problem of every person in the world. Arjuna was having this same problem before coming to the war also, because he is a normal grihastha, of course Kshatriya grihastha. But that problem surfaced when he came to face a challenge in the battlefield. And there he totally emotionally got breakdown, and he was in utter confusion. So if anybody wants to go to the search of the truth and wants to relieve himself from the samsara, he has to go he has to go through the three stages. One is first of all, we must have the samsara darshanam. This world of objects, the relative world, we must have that experience of it, and in that we have gone through the lot of ups and downs. So samsara darshanam. That means actually recognition of the problem. Recognition. Yes, there is a problem in this world everywhere. Behind every sukha also there is a dukkha following. And so recognition itself is the become half of the solution. Then after recognizing this problem, we must recognize also we are helpless to come out of this by ourselves. That also we must recognize. And then what is the solution if I am helpless to help myself? I must seek the help of somebody. That means I must surrender to a person who can help me to get out of from this helplessness. For example, if a person who is drowning in the water, if I catch hold of his hand, I will also be drowned along with him. So I should catch a hand, take a support of that person, that thing which is very strong and firm. That means I must hold on to a Gnani, a Guru, who is already crossed this ocean of samsara and relieved from the ajnana and abided in the gnana sthiti. That person alone can help me. In the same way, here, Arjuna now in this second chapter, seventh shloka, the warrior Kshatriya Arjuna now, the Ejamani, the boss Arjuna, now turned as the Sishya. As long as the Sishyatvam comes in us, the Guru cannot invoked in a Gnani. Gnani himself become a Guru, but there is somebody in front of him who invoked the Guruhood in him, and that disciple made this Gnani as the Guru. So, who is so far sitting as a chariot, and so the Lord is at the feet of the Arjuna. Okay, now these roles are turned. Before, Arjuna standing in the chariot and Bhagavan sitting on the chariot seat as a driver. Now, Arjuna surrendered to the Lord, catch hold of his feet, and sat down and begging for, "Oh Lord, my dear friend Krishna, please help me, give me the solution. I am not able to decide myself." When that Sishyatvam is invoked in the Arjuna, then Gurutvam also is invoked in the Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That is the very important. Now, little more clarification about these three words. Raga, attachment. If we got attached to anything in this world, to any either possessions or the relations, we are bound to become miserable, because the attachment, the raga, which we have kept on something, those things are impermanent. If you hold on to an impermanent thing, how you can get a permanent peace or happiness or security? Impossible. So raga is the cause for the shoka. We have to live with everything. We are in the midst of the possessions and relations and everything, objects, but still we have no any dependency on them. So the dependency emotionally on those objects and the relations, anything, will lead to the shoka, dukkha or sorrow. When a person is in the sorrow because of this attachment, naturally it leads to the delusion, the moha. Moha. Delusion, moha means not able to decide and see what is right and what is wrong. What is good for me, what is bad for me. What is the hitam for me, what is shreyas for me, not able to decide. This dilemma, this condition is called, a deluded condition is called moha. So now Arjuna, when he felt he is himself helpless, then he asked the Lord. This shloka is a very important turning point in Arjuna's character, in Arjuna's life otherwise. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavah पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यश्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. This last word is a sentence is a very crucial sentence. So Arjuna very openly declared and said that I am in utter confusion, O Lord. I am not able to decide what is good for me. I am helpless. So you please accept me as your student, disciple. See, if anybody wants to teach us, unless we are in a receiving position as a student, then the teaching cannot come to us. The teaching cannot affect us. So that surrendering and putting ourselves in the place of the student, Vidyarthi, is very, very important. So Arjuna, Shishyaha te aham and Shadhimam tvam prapannam. I request you, O Lord Krishna, my dear, please instruct me. See, so far, Krishna is waiting for this word, because unless the person is ready to receive, you simply teach, there is no use. That's why Krishna didn't open the mouth until this first chapter, so many shlokas, and only he said after Radham brought in between the two armies, yes, I brought the chariot in between the two armies, please see. That much only he said. What he asked, for that he did some action, and yes, I have done what you said, but not taught anything. So Arjuna only simply arguing. So Arjuna was in a teaching Guru Sthanam, and poor Bhagavan, who is in the student listening place, this listening side, because Bhagavan, his prarabdha, he accepted. Right away, the Lord Narayana is at the feet of the Arjuna. What to say? But now the roles are turned. Bhagavan Krishna is waiting. This is very important. Many people have the doubt that why Bhagavan Krishna taught this Gita only to Arjuna? Why not to the Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya or Dharmaraja? The reason is so simple. Arjuna asked. All others, they never asked. If at all even Duryodhana comes and asks, teach me, Bhagavan would have maybe taught this knowledge to Duryodhana also. So he asked Arjuna, openly opened the mouth and asked. So this is the first part, Arjuna's Sharanagati. He surrendered to the Lord. Shloka number 1 to 10. Then after that, the second topic is Gnana Yogam. So Bhagavan thought of that I should give a permanent solution to the Arjuna's problem. A temporary solution won't work. So permanent solution I would like to give. What is the permanent solution? Every one of us are having the identity crisis. We don't know what we are exactly. That's why Bhagavan wants to teach the what is your essential nature, the essential nature of the Atma, the Satyam. So Bhagavan is going to explain step by step about the Atma, which is permanent. But unfortunately, we are taken this body, mind, intellect complex as we and identified with them and living with them, but forgotten our real essential nature. Before going to see what Lord said, the majorly six attributes of this Atma. Because once if you know that you are the Atma and everybody is the Atma only, then you never grieve for it. That's why Bhagavan's teaching started with Ashochananvashocastvam. Arjuna, you are talking like a wise person, but you are grieving and worrying like a otherwise person. Because wise people never grieve for the people who are left from this world, who are going to leave from this world. But you are unnecessarily grieving about the people who may die or may not die in the war. So this is not the wise way. And this Atma, how to reveal this Atma, how to tell, or is it an object to show? For example, every photo we take through this particular camera is the proof for the existence of the camera. But none of these pictures cannot include the picture of the Atma. None of these pictures cannot include the picture of the Atma. They cannot reveal the Atma as they revealed the so many every object picture. In the same way, every experience of our life proves the Atma. Every experience happening because of the presence of the Atma behind, the light of Atma. But no experience cannot include the Atma experience. Cannot include the, as I experienced this clip, as I experienced this camera, I cannot experience the Atma as like that. But every experience itself is the proof for the existence of Atma. Will feel difficult to understand. But there is no way. This is the way to explain and teach. Anyhow, 5 features of the Atma. 5 features of the Atma. that we already told before. Now we'll just recollect that and then go what Lord explained. This Atma, Chit, consciousness, Chaitanyam, or Shariri, Dehi, all are one and the same, synonym words. This consciousness is an independent existence. Okay, so this consciousness is not a product or part or the property of this body. A consciousness is not a part, product, or the property of the body. Then second point, this consciousness is an independent existence and giving the uh, independent entity and which pervades through this body and makes this body also enliven. So consciousness is independent entity, but it gives the light, Chaitanyam, lending the Chaitanya to the body. Third point is consciousness is not limited by these boundaries of the body, because the consciousness is lending the Chaitanyam. So now it is only in the limitation of this body. No, consciousness is there beyond the body, inside the body and outside the body also. 3 points over. Fourth one is this consciousness survives even after the death and disappearance of the body. After the death or disappearance of this body, independently. But the fifth final point is, but that surviving consciousness have no medium now to express through this particular body. Because if this body is not there, that all pervading existing surviving consciousness is not available for transaction through this body, but the same consciousness is doing the transaction through the other body. So whether it is accessible or not accessible, because of the absence and presence of the instrument or upadhi, it doesn't matter, but that consciousness is a ever existing principle. This is, we already told, put it in 5 points about the five features of the consciousness. Now, what Lord telling in the shlokas from started from 11th to the 38th, there are 6 attributes Lord telling about this Atma. One is Atma is Nityam. Atma is Nityam. Nitya means which is available in all the periods of time, past, present, and future. Nityam. That's why in the 12th shloka, Bhagavan points out that Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipah nachaiva na bhavishyamah sarve vayamatah param. Either you or me or they were not exist. That is not correct at all. They were not exist before or later is not correct. We are not there before, we are not going to be there before. That attitude, that thinking, that notion is wrong. That means what? Indirectly, what is coming? Atma Nityam. You are also eternal, I am also eternal, everybody is eternal, but not from the angle standpoint of the body, but the standpoint of the Chaitanyam, the inner current, the consciousness. So in this way, the first point is highlighted, Atma is Nityam. After that, the second principle or the attribute of the Atma is Atma Satyam. That is only Satyam. Then whatever is in and around this Namarupa Prapancha appearing and disappearing, they are all not Nityam. Nityam means permanent. Whichever is Nityam, permanent only, we can call it as Satyam. These two words are actually conveying the same thing like that. Nityam, always. And that is the only Satyam. Satyam means what? Yat trikala abhaditam tat Satyam, which is not affected by, dismissed by, not available in any period of time. It's not like that. It is available in all the periods of time. In fact, from the Atma standpoint, there is no point of time at all. Because whichever is there always, how you can refer to the time? The reference of the time can come only which is not there, which is there, which is going to come, but it is always there. So Atma Satyam, that's why Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. The Upanishad says Atma Brahman is Satyam. 2 points said. Then the next Bhagavan says Atma Sarvagataha. This consciousness, Arjuna, it is all pervading. That means Desha, Desha Parichinnata is not there. Kala Parichedam we have dismissed. Now Desha Parichedam is not there. Atma Sarvagataha, all pervading. All pervading. It is like that. If the light is falling on me now, to this background color and my specs and everywhere, and specifically it is falling everywhere. For example, it is falling on my hand. Now I am showing my hand. It is falling on my hand. If the hand is not there, in here light is there or not? It is there. Light is, prakasham is all pervading. All pervading. And it is independent, and it is pervades through all the objects. So prakasham, like. So Atma Sarvagataha. Generally, otherwise we give example of Akasham also. As like the space, as like the light. Atma Sarvagataha. Without any exception. Atma, it is not there here. Atma is there, more there, not nothing. Equally, it is only there, everywhere. Atma Sarvagataha. And the next fourth point is Atma Aprameyaha. Aprameyaha. That means which cannot be measured, which cannot be measured by anything. Aprameyaha means cannot be objectified. Cannot be objectified. Because every object is known, revealed by me. The me, the knower, the subject can never become the known, the object. The seer can never become the seen. So how it can be objectified? I cannot objectify myself and see, but our sensual experiences are only all um perception, this perceived experience. So I cannot experience myself as I experience through my senses any other object, because being I am the subject, then I myself is the object for the perception of my subject. So here subject object difference has disappeared. That's why here Atma is aprameya. Aprameya swaprakasha manovacha magochara. In Lalita Sahasranamam about the goddess at Swaprakasha manovacha ma agochara. That's why even mind cannot perceive it. Only now through the mind we are try to understand that mind cannot understand or perceive as the sense objects. That is the meaning. Then the fifth point is fifth characteristic. Atma akarta and abhokta. This all pervading, unobjectifiable, which is permanent, which is the truth, is it doing anything? No. Atma is the non-doer. It is only a sakshi under whose light all these doings and non-doings are appearing and disappearing. But in fact, Atma by itself is not either doer or non-doer. It is just a sakshi. So it's sannidhi matrena, just because of its presence, all these things are revealed, happening. So Atma akarta. Body is doing actions, senses are doing actions, mind is involving actions. But who is making this body, mind, intellect complex shining, because of which these three instruments are working? That light is not involved in any action. That's why to know this inaction principle of the Atma, Akarta, we need not to do anything. But many other actions, karma, kanda, all, to know something, to gain something, to achieve something, in that field it okay. But when it comes to the field of Gnanam, here no action is required to know that inaction Atma, inactionable Atma. When it is not karta, actionless, naturally it is not the bhokta also. It is not experience anything. But all these experiences, punyam, papam, dharmam, adharmam, all these states of complementaries, all these are all meant for only to this mind, ahankara, ego, but not to the original nature of me, Atma. Atma not doing anything and not enjoying anything. So, this Kartrutva Bhoktrutva Abhimanam alone is the food or the support for this Ahankara Jiva, the pseudo and false I, to function and to continue in this samsara. That's why when that Kartrutva Abhimana, Bhotrutva Abhimana, the Ahankara, I, that Abhimana, the notion is destroyed, Abhimana is destroyed, the cycle of samsara also stopped. There is no further, no more punarapi jananam or punarapi maranam. There is no question of samsara. Then the last sixth principle of the Atma is said here, Atma nirvikaraha, modificationless. Generally, we see the modifications in all this entire world. Everything, modification, change. Vikara means change, particularly about our body. This body called Shariram because of it undergoes six modification. Shed Vikarat iti Shariram. Shiryamanat iti Shariram, which is going to perish. Dahyamanat iti Deham, which is going to be burnt. Burnt means not literally they are burning or they are putting in the soil, not that. Here in the body itself is this six vikaras, if you observe. Asti jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate. Apakshiyate means what? Gradual burning, gradual decrease, deplete, and then disappear. Nashyati. So these are the six modifications. So like this, the modifications are there in the mind also. Mind is always not the same. Hmm? The mind carries the inferior complex, superior complex, and mixture of different other complexes. For every emotion, the mind is modified according to the kama, krodha, loha, moha, mada, matsarya, or any other positive emotions also mind is. So these modifications are not there in the Atma. That's why it is called Nirvikaraha. So therefore, Arjuna, which is having this great characteristics, this Atma is you. So therefore, there is no death or anything to this Atma. That's why Bhagavan says, न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Then it is a body only getting worn out. For that also Bhagavan give an example. Nainam vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. As like the clothes become old and worn out, then we change the clothes. In the same way, this mind, subtle body, Sukshma Sariram, if this body is not, physical body is not now fit to function, it will leave this body and go and take the another body. So Atma is not involved in this at all. Atma is not involved in this, either body, mind, these actions and all that. These are all drama going on here. They all comes under Prakriti, which has got the Vikruti modifications. But still I am Dehi nosmin etha dehe. Dehi. I am the resident of this residence. I am the Shariri who is enlivening this Shariram, but without any getting attachment. I have no connection. In my presence, these bodies appeared. In me, all the bodies are appearing. In me, all the bodies are disappearing. So, these are all only introduction to those particular aspects, because this is only introductory chapter. So Bhagavan going to elaborate further in forthcoming chapters or in the Upanishads also. These points are more deeply analyzed and did the enquiry. So in this way, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. So don't worry, Arjuna, stop grieving. Like this, Bhagavan, up to 38th shloka, he told all that. Then from 39th shloka onwards, the third topic is Karma Yoga. What is the Karma Yoga? Why Bhagavan came to the, after giving such highest knowledge of the Gnanam about the Atma, why now Bhagavan talking about this karma? Because Arjuna, maybe you are finding difficult because he questions to Bhagavan later, even after listening to this, both the choices in the third chapter. So Bhagavan uh, started telling this karma yoga. If Gnana yoga, if you find it difficult to understand about this Atma and accepting that I am the Atma, I am not the body mind complex, don't worry, forget about it. You just follow the karma yoga until you become fit for the Gnanam to understand. You prepare yourself. So karma yoga is the preparation. What is karma yoga? We can put into two headings. One is proper action and then proper attitude. Proper action means generally actions can be done with the three gunas, three attitudes: sattvika actions, rajasika actions, and tamasika actions. So sattvika action is the proper action. What is sattvika action? That action which is useful for many of the people around you and to you also, that action is called sattvika action. I am putting it in a very simple nutshell form. And rajasika, that means what is selfless actions. Very little I am having benefit. But Rajasic actions are more selfish motive actions, selfish actions, and which are more beneficial to me and some beneficial to the others also. But the most worst one, third, is tamasic action, which is 100% and maximum useful, selfish for me, but at the same time, for my selfish purpose, I harm so many. In Rajasic action, I won't harm many people, many angles. So here in Tamasic action, I wantedly do the harm, and because of that, I am comfortable. So hurting many is my actions. That is called Tamasic action. So, okay. Then what is proper attitude? The second point. Attitude, action, work is worship. I do all these things for the sake of the Ishvara. Lord given me this body mind instrument to use and gain the knowledge. So I utilize them properly and hand over to them. Anytime, whatever I got it, anything, it is God's wish. If anything is taken away from me, it is also God's wish. That means, all to put together, doing the actions without reaction, showing the attention without tension, I told before. And here also Bhagavan brings the very beautiful meanings to yoga, two places. And very important popular shloka also Bhagavan brought out here, karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, all that. And while telling that samatvam yoga uchyate, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. All that together only I am briefing and telling you. So proper attitude. The attitude should be the attitude of gratitude. I am to giving pay back as a thanksgiving. I am doing offering all these actions to the Lord. Now, if I want to offer the actions to the Lord, those actions should be pleased by the Lord. No, my action should please the Lord. He should like them. So dharmic actions they should be. That's why I told sattvic action. But attitude should be whatever I do with the Ishwararpana buddhi. Ishwararpana buddhi. ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं. Bhagavan Ramana says in Upadeshasar, Ishwararpana buddhi, with the attitude of the offering, everything I am offering to the Lord. My possessions, relations, everything I offer to the Lord. My body, mind, my achievements, all I am offering to the Lord. And whatever, while doing my duties, swadharmam, actions, whatever that result comes to me, I will accept them as the prasada. So this is the attitude. The attitude of while doing, I do as the offering. While I receive the result, I receive like as a prasada. I won't do complaint again about it. I won't complain. Yes, this is Lord, what He wants to give to me, is giving. So Ishwararpana buddhya karma kuru, prasada buddhya phalam svikuru. This is what Arjuna, following this is very good, nice. This helps a person to progress gradually and will be benefited in this world or the other worlds, or becomes fit for the gnana also later. Then the fourth topic, and while concluding this karma yoga topic, finally, ultimately, one day or other, it should lead and bring us to the stage that these karma and actions and all that, how long I will keep on do that? Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So you must come to the gnana yoga gradually. So karma yoga, use it as the tool or the instrument, and then come to the stage, understand that when this entire the confusion and the doubts are all removed, when your mind becomes purer, Shruti vipratipannate yathasthasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhihi tada yogamavapsyasi. So the culmination of the karma yoga, you have done properly. Now you are free from the doubts and the confusions about the what the Shastra telling about this karma and karma phala and all that. How far and how long they. Now you are free. Then Paramartha Yogam you will set. What is the remedy from all this? Why have to do this and get again caught up in the punya papa? Then you will come to the enquiry. So such inquiring minded person, he starts vicharana gnana yoga. So now we are seeing the last topic from 54th shloka. After listening to such a beautiful description of the Atma and one side, other side, how this Karma Yoga is a preparation and useful, and that is more easy once you can follow that first and then come to Gnana Yoga. Then Arjuna got a question that, okay, suppose who gone through that Karma Yoga and purified and everything, and now he came to the Gnana Yoga, and in the Gnana Yoga also, he established in the Gnana, such a Sthira Buddhi, Sthira Prajna person, how he looks. What are the characteristics of that Sthita Prajna? Thus, the man of steady wisdom. You please explain, tell me, Lord. Then I will also can have some idea that whether I can also become like that. So here, two aspects. One is Krishna gives three steps in this uh, totally. What are they? Indriya Nigraham is more important. Then Mano Nigraham is the second thing. Then Nididhyasanam. That means dwelling upon the teaching. Okay. So Gnanam, converting the Gnanam into emotional strength is called Sthira Prajna. So after I become the Sthira Prajna, there are two. How I can become a Sthira Prajna? Sthira or Sthita, both are one and the same. Or after I become Sthita Prajna, what are that symptoms I can see in myself, or right now can I see in some other who already becomes Sthita Prajna? Now here one point, the Guru teaches the Shastra. Actually, the Guru who teaches the Shastra only is called Sadguru, useful for us. All others, you can respect them, do Namaskara, everything. But who do the Upadesha for us? Now here important point, the Guru can make the Sishya a Agnaha and convert him into as a Prajnaha. Agnaha. An ignorant person, now he can make me a knowledgeable person. But Guru also even cannot make this prajnaha into a sthira prajnaha. That sthira prajnaha job we must do. We must do. That means there we need a lot of commitment and sincerity, Shraddha, Bhakti, and all that. We must put efforts forward. So Guru is giving the inputs, but all inputs I am taking, but they are not assimilated and they are not put into practice. All that work, so converting myself from a prajna into sthita prajna is in my hands. Please remember this point. Okay. Now I just summarize what sthita prajna lakshanani mumukshoho sadhanani. These are all indicators and points on which we keep on dwell upon this particular teaching of these shlokas from this 55 to 72. Also, the previous topic, previous means the second topic, the nature of the Atma, they are also very important. Okay. Now, here all together, we can put it to two headings. One is Purnatvam and second is Samatvam. Purnatvam means I won't miss anything. I am not missing anything because I discovered my own self is which is Purnam, complete in itself. There is no any deficit in that. There is no any want. There is no any desire. This deficiency, desire and want and all these things are only in my egoistic mind. It has got a lot of problems, issues. Now because this person gone through this process of Gnana Yagnam and did lot of Shravanam, then Mananam, then Nididhyasanam, then naturally he discovers his completeness and Purnatvam. When I realize my essential nature, which is Purnam, Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam, Satchit Ananda Swarupam. Okay? Then that is completeness is complete. Purnoham. Sada Purnoham. That means there is no any kind of any the sense of guilt or sense of arrogance and sense of incompleteness before I leave this body. Before this, I leave this body. Then only know Dijivan Mukti. So, Purnatvam. First, I think we can say this point, then only Purnatvam. Okay. Any Samatvam. Now, now I have to live still with this body mind instrument upadhi until my that prarabdha gets over. Even Gnani actually don't bother about the prarabdha because he sees the prarabdha also and makes the prarabdha also mithya. He do the midhyatva nishchayam even towards the prarabdha. Okay. But generally, Shastra or we say, Gnani also has to go through that prarabdha. How he accepts and how he go through it without complaining, without murmuring, without any grumbling. He will have pain. He goes through the suffering. If pain comes to the body, he also shout. He also may cry. But it doesn't mean that he is emotionally or really accepting this. But that is the nature of the body when the pain is there. So don't imagine that Gnani means you should not have any body pain. So let us go and prick with the pin. And then if he is not shouting, yes, then he is a real Gnani. No, don't do that foolish thing. Then it is a problem. Who is having skin disease also? If you prick them with the pin, they won't feel pain. Then they have to go to the doctor immediately. It is not a Gnana sthiti. Gnani also have got cold feeling, hot feeling, all these things, but he won't react. Then what is called samatvam? He maintains, he learnt already how to do the samatvam yoga uchyate. So all these sadhanas in the world, in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality, in the name of yoga, how many sadhanas are there? All those sadhanas you melt down and bring to the only one point. Non-reacting mind means not inert mind. Samatvam, a balanced state of mind always, always. If that is achieved, all the sadhanas results you got it. You do anything, but this is the bottom line. You are at peace, samatvam, balanced in all conditions, in spite of, then you are the sthita prajna. So, or I can put it in another simple words, free from the all arishad vargas. You know what is arishad vargas? The six enemies generally which always waiting to imbalance our balanced state of the mind. Generally, we put it in a simple form too, raga dvesha. But elaborated if you want to say, kama, krodha, loha, moha, mada, matsarya. All the six are the arshad vargams. Now, they were not having any influence on me. That courageous facing them and but not affected by them, that steadiness and the balanced state is called samatvam. Because of he learned the samatvam achieved, and also he discovered the purnatvam, which is the culmination of this gnana. And further after that, nothing. After further, nothing. That's why the last but one, two shlokas, Bhagavan said there, Apuryamana pradishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat. Last week only we saw Bhagavan given the example of that vast ocean. Everything is, that is Purnam. Ocean never feels any kinds of this water coming and going and evaporating. Nothing. It won't bother at all. It won't recognize at all. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti. Hey Arjuna, na kama kami. Who is become a slave to these small petty desires of the mind and fall prey to them, he cannot never feel this joy or the freedom. And the last shloka Bhagavan concluded 72. Esha brahmi sthitif partha nainam prapya vimuhyati sthitva syamantakaalepi brahma nirvanam richati. This brahmi sthiti, this state of samatvam and purnatvam, a partha, once who attained that, he never gets deluded again. He never comes into the cycle of samsara again. Once for all, he discovered while living itself Jivan Muktaha, naturally is going to be a Videha Muktaha also. And while at the end he leaves the body with that state, definitely Brahma Nirvanam Richati. Like this, very beautifully Bhagavan kept in a nutshell the entire forthcoming chapters of Gita in this second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.